Before you hear the story, understand one thing. Nothing in this episode needs to move to be disturbing, nothing needs to chase anyone, and nothing needs to make a sound. Because sometimes the most dangerous objects are the ones that sit quietly, waiting for someone to ignore the warning. Tonight we are examining one of the most infamous cursed objects in modern history, the Dybbuk Box. Welcome to Hunters Paranormal Investigation and Events, where we explore real cases, real investigation, and just have a good time. If you guys are brand new to the channel, please consider hitting subscribe, like, and sharing this episode. To understand the Dybbuk Box, we first need to understand the word Dybbuk. In Jewish folklore, a Dybbuk is a restless spirit, not a demon in the traditional sense, but a human soul that cannot move on. A Dybbuk is believed to attach itself to the living, often because of trauma, guilt, or unfinished business. It doesn't haunt a house, it haunts a person. And according to legend, one way to contain a Dybbuk is to bind it to an object. Something closed, something sealed, something never meant to be open. The modern story of the Dybbuk begins in the early 2000s. A man purchased an old wine cabinet at an estate sale. The cabinet reportedly belonged to a woman who survived the Holocaust. Before selling it, the family gave a warning. The box should never be opened. Inside were items associated with dark spiritual practices and something else, a Dybbuk. At first, the warning was ignored. That decision would change everything. After bringing the box home, the new owner began experiencing very disturbing events. He reported vivid nightmares, dreams of an elderly woman screaming, cold drafts near the cabinet, and the constant smell of jasmine flowers with no visible source. Soon after, his health declined. His business began to fail. His mental state deteriorated. He later claimed that everyone who came into contact with the box experienced something negative, whether it be from friends, family members, even people who touched it briefly. Eventually, the box was opened. That sounds like a terrible mistake. Inside were several strange items: old coins, a wine goblet, a candle holder, and a lock of hair, and a stone engraved with Hebrew symbols. After opening the box, the activity reportedly intensified. Nightmares spread to others in the house. Electronics malfunctioned. People reported seeing shadowy figures and feeling an overwhelming sense of dread. The owner believed something had been released or awakened. Well, duh. Over the time, the Dybbuk Box changed hands. And with each new owner, similar stories followed. Sudden illnesses, emotional instability, unexplained fear, accidents, and misfortunes. Some owners claim to hear whispers. Others describe seeing dark shapes in their peripheral vision, which is on the side. Several people tried to get rid of the box. Some sealed it shut again. Others attempted rituals meant to contain whatever was attached to it. In multiple cases, owners claimed their lives only improved once the box was gone. The Dybbuk Box gained widespread attention when it came into the possession of paranormal investigator Zach Bagans. After acquiring the box, Bagans reported intense physical and emotional reactions. He described hallucinations, sudden anger, and an overwhelming sense of darkness. He chose not to open the box again. Instead, it was sealed and placed into a containment. The decision sparked debate. So if the box isn't dangerous, why contain it? And if it is dangerous, why keep it at all? Now it's important to look at the skeptical perspective. Some historians and folklorists argue that the Dybbuk Box is a modern legend. They point out that the traditional Dybbuk lore does not commonly involve boxes. There are no historical records of Dybbuk containers being used in that way. Others believe the effects are psychological. When someone believes an object is cursed, fear can manifest physically. You get nightmares, stress, and illness. Expectation becomes reality. But here's why the story of the Dybbuk box still matters. People who had no known knowledge of the legend reported similar experiences. The effects were constant across different owners, and in many cases, removing the box provided them with relief. That pattern is difficult to dismiss. Whether the box is haunted or the belief surrounding it is powerful, the impact is real. So what is the Dybbuk box? A genuine container for a restless spirit, a psychological trigger fueled by fear and suggestion, or a modern myth that took on a life of its own? And here's the question that matters most. If something could be trapped inside an object, would you want to be the one who opens it? You've been watching Shadow Hunters Paranormal Investigation and Events, but the investigation never truly ends. What we experience doesn't stay on camera, and not everything we uncover wants to be found. If you felt something tonight, you're not alone. Until next time, keep your lights low, your mind open, and remember, the shadows are always watching.